Ladies and gentlemen, come in.
Honorable Akin Alabi, the House of Representatives member representing Egbeda Onuara Federal Constituency in Oyo State of Nigeria, presented his new book titled How to Sell to Nigerians to a cross-section of Lagosians on Friday, May 28. The well-attended event had interesting Nigerians who appreciated Akin Alabi for his contributions to nation building and his urge to give back to the society by improving human capital development through the real business ideas he shares from his experience as a businessman. The event had two panel discussion sessions with stakeholders sharing their different perspectives and wealth of knowledge. Honorable Akin Alabi thanked all the attendees and stated that everyone can contribute to saving the country from the spate of unemployment it currently faces. He noted that improving human capital development and skill acquisition for young people will lift them from poverty.
I wrote this book because I feel that a lot of young Nigerian entrepreneurs don't really know how to sell their products or services. They are dissatisfied with the results they are getting from their businesses. I mean, almost everywhere you turn to now, there's one small business owner, there's one entrepreneur. I mean, I don't know whether because of the economic situation, a lot of people are going into business to fend for themselves. And because of the penetration of the internet and social media, we have with one Instagram page, one Twitter page, you are in business. But despite that, there's a lot of people getting into business. Not all of them are really cutting it. So that's how this book came about. I decided to write about what they are lacking. I decided to share my own experience because I've gone through that. I've been in the trenches. I've gone through my mentor course, the University of Hard Knocks. So that's why I decided to put this together. Every time is a trying time. There's no time that's not a trying time. I remember growing up, I remember when a lot of people were complaining that there are too many computers out there, that computers are going to take jobs away. And everyone is crying and they say it's going to get tough, it's going to get tough. But those that are growing today cannot imagine life without a computer. They feel there should be no business without a computer. There should be no home without a computer. So there's a trying period. Every time you wake up, there are different kinds of challenges. So the job of the entrepreneur is to rise. There are actually quite a few businesses who actually doubled their businesses during COVID. Now, I know COVID was special. It was a devastating period for most businesses. Yeah, but we're opening up gradually and everybody's getting back into business. Now, once you continue to deliver top quality service that the people want, that the people are asking for, and you give them fantastic customer care, you always thrive. Because people will always need something, no matter what you are, no matter where you are, no matter the economy you are, people will always buy something. What they are buying in economy A might be different from what they are buying in economy B. They might be buying Tesla in America while we're buying Toyota Camry in Nigeria. Okay? People will always buy. When there's famine, they'll buy. When there's boom, they'll buy. When there's electricity, they'll buy. When there's no electricity, they'll buy. People will always buy something, all right? So as an entrepreneur, you put yourself in a position of what are people looking for, then you provide it, then you thrive.
We just finished Akin Alabi'S book launch, How to Sell to Nigerians. That's the second book. The first one was Small Business, Big Money. I think if you haven't read this book, you need to get it and read it. It basically focuses on Nigeria. These days, we basically see that the reading culture among the Nigerian youths is dwindling. And what can we do about it? First things first, most of us probably went to primary school in the 90s or early 2000s. The traditional educational system in Nigeria has been very rigid, and most of us learned how to read in primary school. And after that, once we learned how to read, we left it at that. So people's memory of reading is all these rigid ways that our teachers taught us that time. In short, the word read is not a very sexy word to Nigerians. So writing for Nigerians, definitely, you need to write in such a way that Nigerians like gist. So write like you're gisting with them. You don't want to sound too complex. You don't want to come and display your intelligence here or who is not intelligent. Are you trying to outshine anybody? So you have to bring it down and just make it sound as casual as possible. That will make them be able to flip through the pages. As a matter of fact, it's all over the world. It's a pandemic where people are not reading. This generation, they just want to read short captions on social media and all that. So we need to adjust to the ways of this new generation. And I think that's where we find the solution, so that it's more important to get your message across than just come and sound like an intellectual person and not get your message across. I mean, looking back at growing up, I realized that all the textbooks we read, from Ababio, Gochelong, all those are physics textbooks, geography, they were not written for us that were in secondary school at 13, 14 years old. Those professors were writing for themselves and to impress their fellow professor friends, because it wasn't what they were teaching us that was the issue. It was the fact that we could not even comprehend the English that they used to try and explain what they're trying to explain. Instead of to bring it down, nowadays, go on YouTube. You probably see one Indian guy explaining atoms and electrons in a very simple way.
The book was reviewed by social media guru Japhet Omojua, who describes the book as an important psychological work for understanding consumer behavior and the best way to harness it for small businesses.
The title does not suggest anything massive or extraordinary. It just goes straight to the point, how to sell to Nigerians. And when you read the book, you start to see some things that are quite counterintuitive, but they actually make loads of sense. A lot of people would think, for instance, that if you want to get people's attention as a seller, give them low prices. You actually learn from the book that low prices do not work. There's something else that works much better than low prices. You have to read the book to find out. The book speaks about loss aversion bias. It speaks about negativity bias. It didn't mention these words. It didn't mention these things in those senses. But I tell you that it's a psychology of selling and the psychology of Nigerians, intersection of that. And anybody that is selling to Nigerians that is able to bridge the psychology of selling and intersect it with the psychology of Nigerians will definitely do well. And that's what the book has done really, really well.
The Narrowbet boss describes selling to Nigerians, a sequel to his first book, Small Business, Big Money, as a must-read book for small business owners and prospective entrepreneurs willing to improve their customer base and relationship with the customers.